Hi, my name is Roger Ahuja, and I'm going to take a couple minutes to discuss the Adobe Education Enterprise Agreement Program with you, also called the Adobe EEA program. I'll get into more detail in a moment, but the short version of the program is that it's a subscription for 1 or 2 years for schools. As long as you keep the subscription active, you get to use the product and you get free upgrades. If you don't renew your subscription, the software stops working. It's licensed for your entire school if you're a K through 12 school. Now, colleges in North America and Japan are a little more complicated. I'll get into that a little bit later. The cost is calculated using FTE. If you're not familiar with that, again, I'll get into that a little bit later. That's the short version. If you just want to talk to a person to find out more specifics about this program, you can give me a call at 818-347-1100, and let's get into the details. First, let's talk about who qualifies for this program. Individual K through 12 schools qualify. That's pretty simple and straightforward. If you're buying from multiple schools, it gets a little tricky in that Adobe allows only certain types of organizations to buy this product. School districts and government agencies that are buying for multiple schools, they qualify, no problems. But consortiums and buying groups, they don't qualify. If you're buying for multiple schools, you should check with us to make sure your organization qualifies. As far as colleges and universities, we can sell to individual departments at a college or university, but in North America and Japan, Adobe does not allow us to sell this product to cover an entire college or university. They have a competing product in that region, and they don't want to be competing against themselves. So now we know who qualifies. Let's talk about which computers are covered under this program. So if you're a K through 12 school, pretty plain and simple again, all the computers in your school are covered, whether they're Macs or PCs. If you're a department at a college or university, then you buy the licenses based on a per-seat model. Outside of North America or Japan, you can buy licenses to cover the entire college, but you should contact a reseller in your region. Just to clarify, this does not cover student-owned computers, only school-owned computers. So the next question is, how long is the term for? It's a 1 or 2 year term, and you do have to pay for the entire term up front. As I mentioned earlier, the software stops working at the end of the term, but during the term, updates and new versions are included. Next question, of course, is what products do you get during the term? Now, this varies a little depending on whether you're a K through 12 school or a college or university. For colleges and universities, it's called a Design and Web HED collection. Comes with Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, Dreamweaver, Flash Professional, Fireworks, Acrobat Pro, Muse, and Edge Animate. For K through 12 schools, it's called the Design and Web K through 12 collection. Comes with everything the HED collection comes with, and they also include Photoshop Elements and Captivate with it. In order to get into the program, you have to buy one of these two packages, depending, of course, on what kind of school you are. You can also add on to that with some optional items. Now, the optional items you don't have to purchase for the entire school or department. You simply purchase as many as you need. There are 4 add-on products. 2 of them, Adobe Premiere Elements and Adobe Presenter, are only available to K through 12 schools. The other 2 are available to both K through 12 or colleges and universities. They are Lightroom and the Video Collection. The Video Collection comes with Premiere Pro, After Effects, Photoshop, Audition, SpeedGrade, Prelude, Illustrator, Flash Professional, Encore, and Media Encoder. Some of the titles are obviously duplicates of the Design and Web collections. So now we know who qualifies and what can be purchased. The next question, of course, is what does it all cost? Well, there are 3 different pricing tiers for K through 12 schools and 2 for colleges and universities. The tier level is based on FTE, which stands for full-time equivalent. If you're familiar with Microsoft's licensing program that uses FTE, this is the same calculation. You take your full-time faculty, and then you add to that your part-time faculty divided by 3. Then you add your full-time staff, and lastly, add your part-time staff divided by 2. Round to the nearest whole number, and that's your FTE. You don't have to count non-information workers such as grounds or custodial staff. Let's do a sample calculation. If you have 30 full-time faculty, 50 part-time faculty, 10 full-time staff, and 20 part-time staff, we would take 30 plus 50 divided by 3 plus 10 plus 20 divided by 2. The 50 divided by 3 rounded to the nearest whole number is 17, and the 20 divided by 2 is 10. So the total will be 30 plus 17 plus 10 plus 10, which is 67. Once you calculate your FTE, you can look at this chart to see where you fall in. There is a minimum of 20 FTE, which is where we begin with Tier 1. Tier 2 is a minimum of 300 FTE. Most individual K-12 schools are not going to have 300 FTE. So usually Tier 2 and 3 are for school districts and such. Tier 3 has a minimum of 3,000 FTE. You can give us a call at 818-347-1100 for the actual pricing, or visit our website, www.needsoftware.com. Last thing to touch on is the FTE calculation for colleges and universities. There are 2 tier levels, Tier Level 4 and Tier Level 5. It's actually real simple here. In North America and Japan, we can only sell to higher education departments, and those departments have to buy based on the number of seats you want. The minimum is 1 license. There is no FTE calculation for them. The higher education institutions outside of North America and Japan that want to participate in this program, your minimum FTE is 100, and you would want to contact a reseller in your region. And that's it.